Assalomu alaykum yana bir marta. Aslida o'zi vebinar boshlangandi, lekin ma'lum bir sabablarga ko'ra ovozim eshitilmay qolgan ekan. Agar hozir vebinarni kim tomosha qilayotgan bo'lsa, iltimos kommentariyaga ovozingiz eshitilyapti yoki eshitilmayapti yozib yuborsanglar, biza yana davom ettirardik. Xo'p, ovozim eshitilayotgan ekan barchaga. Assalomu alaykum yana bir marta, boshdan boshlayman. Ismim Nasiba Raupova, Edu-Action korxonasining aynan Angliya yo'nalishi bo'yicha, Buyuk Britaniya yo'nalishi bo'yicha mutaxassis hisoblanaman. Bugungi vebinarimizni asosiy maqsadi Londonda o'qish, ya'ni aynan Buyuk Britaniyadagi London South Bank universitetida va vebinarimiz mobaynida aynan shu universitet haqida qanaqa savolinglar bo'lsa, ya'ni o'qishga kirish, o'qishda tahsil olish haqida savolinglar bo'lsa, iltimos shu chat box tomonda qoldirasizlar va biza shu hamma savollaringlarga javobni vaqtida yetkazib berishga harakat qilamiz. Bugungi asosiy vebinarimiz ingliz tilida bo'ladi, savol-javob tarzida o'tkaziladi va agar kimdadir qiyinchilik bo'ladigan bo'lsa, ya'ni ingliz tilini tushunishda ozgincha qiyinchilik bo'ladigan bo'lsa, uni o'sha qaysi savolni o'zbek tilida yoki qaysi javobni o'zbek tilida qilishimizni so'rasanglar, shu joyni men sizlarga tarjima qilib beraman. Va bundan tashqari bugungi vebinarimizda aynan bizani shu vakilimiz, rasmiy vakilimiz sizga shu o'qishga kirishdan tashqari qanaqa qilib ingliz tilini yaxshi rivojlantirsa bo'ladi va ingliz tilida o'sha speaking bo'ladimi, listening yoki reading joylarida qanaqa qilib yaxshi rivojlantirish haqida ham tavsiya berib o'tadilar, chunki bu universitetda ishlashdan oldin aynan ingliz tili bo'yicha instruktor bo'lib ishlaganlar. Va hozir уже boshlaymiz. Hello Malcolm, how are you? Hello?
Right, one more time
Yeah,
unmuted.
okay.
Hi there, yes, all good, thank you very much. Yes, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I have introduced you to our audience. So
Okay.
it's almost time for us to start the presentation. And
Sure.
if our students have any questions during the presentation, we'll gather all of them and then we'll ask them once you finish your PowerPoint presentation. And hopefully this is going to be productive. And I wish you good luck. And if you don't mind, I'll ask some questions during the presentation as well. And
That's fine,
for
yeah.
now, yep, you can introduce yourself. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so I guess you'd like to know more about London South Bank University, yes? So my name's Malcolm Davidson and I am the International Recruitment Manager for LSBU. And one of the countries that I focus on is Uzbekistan. I visited several times. And sadly, I was not able to come this spring. I was supposed to come to your fair, or LSBU was supposed to be present at your fair in March. You couldn't come, so, you know, this is the next best thing we can do. But yeah, happy to share some more information on our university.
Okay, great. So let's have information.
Sure, yeah. So yeah, so I guess we've been working in Uzbekistan for the past year. I know you've already, lots of your students have already sort of chosen London South Bank University, or LSBU as we call it for short. But I know that, there's more and more London universities coming to Uzbekistan. And, I think that, well, there's just an interruption on the line there. There's lots of universities in Uzbekistan at the moment yes? Full screen?
Can you make it full? Yeah, now it's full screen.
It's full screen to me, yeah?
Yeah.
Is it for you now?
Yeah, it is full screen now.
Is that okay?
Yes, please
Cool.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so a bit about London South Bank University. Now, I know that London is a very popular destination for many Uzbek students. And, it's one of the great things about representing a London university. Often you don't have to try too hard to convince students that London is a good option. But I just want to point out that London is more than just a really cool destination. It's more than just like a fantastic photo opportunity. Studying in London is also an investment in your future too. There was a student survey done in 2018 that it was like the QS best student cities, and London actually came top. That's based on student feedback. So, students who spend that money and choose to go to London do not regret it at all. I think lots of reasons why I would recommend London to study is employment prospects. I think for your future, I think that, there's so many opportunities for you in terms of internships, work placements, and post-study work in London. Every kind of company, every kind of sector is represented in London. And I think also in terms of just experience, in terms of cultures, it's such a multicultural city. I think, you really, wherever you're from, whoever you are, there's a place for you in London. You meet all kinds of people. And I also think too, in terms of just an investment in yourself, I think, for me, when I was 18, I moved from a small town in Scotland to London. I don't think it's the same thing as coming from Uzbekistan, but I always say London makes you a global person. Like when you're studying in London, you meet all different kinds of people. And I think that really opens up not just a network for you, but also you as a person. I'm happy that I think studying in London, it made me able to relate to all different kinds of people wherever I go in the world. So I never ever regret choosing London.
And also there is one understanding that everyone thinks that London is one of the most expensive cities in the world. Can you comment on that as well? And one more thing, please.
Yeah, sure.
Can you speak a bit slower so that our students can catch you up a bit?
Certainly, yeah, I do speak fast. Even my own family tell me, Malcolm, slow down a bit sometimes.
Yeah, a bit.
So yeah, London is, I don't think it's as expensive as people think. Of course, the cost of living are much more expensive than in Uzbekistan. But I do think that, if you want to spend lots of money, you can, but at the same time, there are lots of affordable options in London too. Certainly, you get used to it when you live in London for a few months. You get used to like the new costs of things, and I think there's lots of possibilities as well to get part-time work, to earn money on the side to support your living there. So by all means, research the costs. But I meet so many students who automatically decide, no, London's too expensive, and they don't even do the research. Don't automatically dismiss it. I would say do some research first and look at the costs before making that decision. But so if you've chosen to come to LSBU, I would say, so why you want to come to London? So why London South Bank University? And recently I was looking at a survey which was done in 2018, and this was the most important factors when choosing a university for international students. And I was quite surprised at what they were. So number 6 was a good ranking. So 41% of students chose in their top 5 factors a good ranking as the reason for choosing a university. 47% said good reputation. 49% had a super important high employment rate. 53% affordable tuition fees. 67% spoke about the quality of teaching. And 74% said the most important thing was that it leads to their career path. And I think today, when we look at what we offer at London South Bank, we can meet all of these top 6 most important factors for students. I really think we tick those boxes really well. So yeah, like I said, I think London South Bank, 5 really key selling points: fantastic location, centre of London, employability, practical education. There's a big focus on learning by doing, work placements, internships, practical learning. Fees as well. Our fees really for a London university of our type are not that high. We offer scholarships for international students, and we have a huge range of courses for students. Location, first of all, so if you've been to London before or if you haven't, we have a fantastic location in the centre of London, Zone 1. So our campus at the bottom of the screen there is one integrated campus. We're the only big London university in the centre of the city that has one campus in one place. And from the campus, you're just 20 minutes walk to Big Ben, to London Eye, all these famous places you've seen in movies and TV and all the rest of it. And then equally crucially, I think, you're just 20, 30 minutes walk to the financial district, to the business hub of London as well. So in terms of internships and work opportunities, it's right there on your doorstep too. Also, around the campus, you'll see some colored dots, and that's actually our accommodation. That's our student residence. So I know many...
Can you just scroll to make it visible for our students? I don't think they can see that.
I don't think I can zoom in.
Yeah, that's the red dots, right?
Yes, but I'll come back to that in a minute.
Okay.
So a bit about accommodation, you'll see here, that's a sort of a zoomed in. So the purple triangle there, that's our campus, and then the blue dots, that's our accommodation. So it's literally 2 minutes walk to campus. And rents, again, I know many students from Uzbekistan choose to live off campus in shared apartments. It can be cheaper sometimes, but when you research prices, our accommodation really is one of the cheapest options in Zone 1. So a single room, walking distance to campus, £550 a month. That is actually a very good price for the centre of London. And keep in mind,
that's really good price.
because you've been to London, you know the costs now. But compared to other options, that's really affordable, and also you're not paying any transport costs either for that price. So
But you
it
know
is a really good
what
deal.
might be the problem for our students is that what is the main reason that they choose not the university accommodation but the private accommodation is that you gotta pay deposit payment in advance for, if I'm not mistaken, for 1 month or 2 months. Can you speak about that one as well? Because this is the one of the reasons that they don't choose the university accommodation mostly.
Yeah, so you have to pay a £300 deposit
Yeah.
to secure the accommodation. But again, I don't think that's a particularly high fee. Like if you're getting a private apartment, often you would have to pay like 1 or 2 months rent, which is quite a lot of money too. So yeah, it depends. I know that a lot of Uzbek students, they have family or friends or connections in London when they go. So
Yeah.
that's that's a massive help if you have that. So maybe friends say, hey, come and stay with us for the first 2-3 months. But I think it's just sometimes students, they don't know what the prices are of things. And I have students actually from Uzbekistan who arrive, and after 2 months, they're like, hey, can I get a room in the student accommodation? Because they realize when they've lived in London and they see the prices of things and they can
Yeah.
compare, they're like, oh, actually, this is a good option. This is a good price. It's often only after they arrive they realize that. So, but just that it is an affordable option for students.
What
And a bit
about the
about us as a
facilities?
sorry.
I'm sorry. What about the facilities included in that bill? I mean,
Yeah.
will there be any kitchen for them to cook
Yes.
or, yeah?
Yeah, so typically as
Mhm.
well, just so you know, because I know often in Uzbekistan and other countries in CIS, the word student accommodation, общежитие, it gives people this like fear, like they think it's going to be 6 people living in a room and all the rest of
Yeah.
it. So student accommodation in London is quite different in the UK. Typically, you'll have an apartment of maybe 6 bedrooms, and you have a single bedroom just for you. So you're not sharing a
Okay.
room with anybody else. Then typically there'll be a kitchen to cook your own meals. Usually accommodation is offered without catering, without food, and then there'll maybe be a shared bathroom. Usually it's one bathroom per 3 students, something like that. For a little bit extra, you can also get a private bathroom as well.
I see.
But that's
Okay.
typical of student accommodation in the UK. So yeah.
Mhm.
There's laundry facilities as well to wash your clothes. There'll be social areas too where you can sort of meet other students, have coffee, usually like a games room, something like that too.
And internet
That's
facilities
typical.
as well.
Internet, yes, of course, yes.
Yeah.
Everywhere
The most
nowadays,
important one.
in 2020, yes.
Yeah.
Nowadays, definitely you have that. So yeah, and a bit about us as a university too, just to mention as well. Even though we're a very modern university, we have a long history. So we've been going 128 years. You'll see in the pictures there, it's a collection of different buildings, some very old, some very new. There's the original building of the original building of LSBU is there on the right hand side of the screen, but a big university too. So we have 16,000 students.
Wow.
To like 25% of our students are not originally not from the UK. So it's a very diverse environment. You really are mixing with all different kind of students. Me working for the uni, I'm constantly surprised at how many different kinds of people study at LSBU. It really is just the whole world in one university. Different religions, nationalities. You have some students, from super rich families, and then you have students, from like really ordinary working class London families too. So you do meet all different kinds of people.
Okay.
And also, we're an award-winning university. So some awards we've won in the past couple of years that we're very proud of. We're the only university to have won this award 2 years in a row. That's University of the Year for Graduate Employment. And I'd say employability, career focus, that is one of our big, big, big strengths. And I'll focus on that in a minute. Also, we came 4th in the UK for average starting salaries. What's that? That is like after you graduate, it's the first job you get. So that means they sort of survey all graduates of all universities in the UK. They look at the average salaries that students are getting, and that's how they make that ranking. So we came 4th in the UK of all universities. So that was really, really impressive. So this award we often talk about, graduate employment. What does that mean? I think a lot of people think it means just the number of students finding jobs. It's not just that. This award was also for the work we do to support students, to develop our teaching and our curriculum and how we teach students, about the work we've done to sort of focus on employability and build that in to the curriculum. So it's one complaint I often get from students in Uzbekistan and other countries in that part of the world. I find students often talk about how education is very old-fashioned, it's theoretical, you sit in a lecture theatre, you listen to your professor talking, you know, you have many, many, many classroom hours to sort of attend. You have maybe lots of, I don't want to say useless, but sort of exams and learning that doesn't really sort of relate well to what you would be doing in the real world. So really the way we teach, the way we do things is the opposite of that. It's designed to be the opposite of that experience. And you'll see it really, again, shows in sort of the employability rates. According to the Complete University Guide rankings, you'll see here, #1 in London for graduate prospects for art and design and built environment. That's things like architecture, civil engineering. And then the #1 modern university in London. Just to mention, you may hear these two terms, so research universities and modern universities. Research universities are your traditional unis like Oxford, Cambridge, these ones where the focus is more on research. It's more on sort of academia. Modern universities, the focus is on more sort of work-focused, skills-focused degrees that are more sort of focused on helping you get a job. So #1, Modern London University for accounting and finance, for business management, computer science, psychology, economics, marketing, electronic engineering in terms of career prospects. And then #2 for law and #3 for architecture.
So the
really
architecture
impressive
is
stats.
also one of the main majors that you're really good at, right?
Yes, and I do think, we'll look at this in a minute, but I think a lot of students, and also it's your market, I know that the majority of Uzbek students, they want business management of some sort.
Yeah, most of them.
Yeah, accounting and finance, business management. Sometimes, if they're feeling adventurous, you might get IT or computer science. But and then sometimes I think people think of us as only a business university, but we do have a lot of other subjects too.
Yeah, I had recently this conversation with a student who really wanted to study architecture, and he's now considering other options as well. And can you tell us more about the architecture as well? Because usually when you apply for these kind of directions, you're required to give them portfolio,
Yeah,
and then the students will ask if there are any placement options during their studies, so any like facilities offered from the university.
yeah, that's a good point, Nasiba. I think it's something that the word portfolio, first of all, it scares a lot
Mm-hmm.
of students.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's for bachelor's level, just to point out, for bachelor's, they're, especially our university, we're looking to develop, we're looking for potential to develop. We're not looking
Mm-hmm.
for a ready-made genius.
Sure.
After 3 years, you're expected to be able to be an architect. But, you know, when we're looking at 18-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old young people, we're not expecting them to have like a massive portfolio of amazing buildings they've designed. So the portfolio, first of all, it just needs
Mm-hmm.
to be an evidence that, you know, you have a creative eye and you have an ability to draw. So, you know, I do see different portfolios submitted by students. Some are hand drawing, some are more sort of computer graphics or things they've done on or just sort of things they've done on a computer. But they're looking for a creative eye and an ability to draw. That's what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't
Okay.
need to be drawings of buildings. I've seen students who've done still life drawings. That's, you know, drawings of, you know, fruit, vegetables, landscapes, that kind of thing. Portraits, this portrait drawing, this kind of thing. It can be different things, yeah.
Yeah.
So just to say, it doesn't need to be a traditional portfolio.
Yeah, and one thing that students should know is that the university is not like asking to give them ready-made version of the thing that they made, but the
Yeah.
process that they made, how they achieved this final stage of that work. So
Yeah,
I think, yeah.
indeed. And I think
Mhm.
it's one thing to point out too. I think this is something that students from, I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like, I imagine in Uzbekistan, there's more of a traditional relationship between teacher and student. So the teacher is
Yeah.
the god, and as the student, you have to like do everything they say. I think British universities, they like to see you, they like to feel your personality, they like to see you as an individual. So don't be
Sure.
afraid to show that. I think sometimes students show us what they think we want to see, when actually
Mhm.
the professors would love to see your personality. So yeah, when it comes to portfolios or personal statements, don't be
Mhm.
afraid to show your passion and your personality and
Yeah.
you know,
Good
yourself,
job.
because they will really, really respond to that really well. So don't draw lots of boring pictures of buildings. Show them some creative work you've done. I think they will really enjoy seeing that.
Okay. What about the plagiarism in the portfolio and personal statement? Can you tell more about this one as well? Because students are not
Plagiarism,
really
yes.
aware of this, yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
they should
something
know.
that is taken. Yeah, it's something that's taken very seriously at British
Mm-hmm.
universities. Is all the work you submit should be your own.
Mm-hmm.
Universities do have software, so they can check even
Mm-hmm.
personal statements. They can check if it's been copied from the internet. And also, you have to keep in mind our admissions officers. It's their job. I don't envy their job at all. They have amazing attention to detail, right? So they can spot everything. So they're when you're reading hundreds of personal statements a day, they can tell. I think they often can sense if something's not quite right. They're like, I think I've read this before somewhere. You know, they have this kind of like sixth sense. So first of all,
Okay.
we do have staff that notice these kind of things, but also we do have software to check this kind of thing. That's all universities nowadays, and that also goes for when you are a student too. So all work you submit, essays, coursework, they'll be
Mm-hmm.
able to check if you've copied it from somewhere else. So just be aware of that. That's something that
But
you
but
take
uh,
seriously.
but this shouldn't be that scary for students. They can just look up for some ideas from the internet and
Definitely,
then
yeah.
understand the topic very well, and then they can just write from their own visions and they make one perfect motivation letter.
Yeah, indeed. I get lots of questions all the time. How do I write a personal statement? And I think just actually, yeah, Google is your friend to some degree.
Yeah.
Don't copy something off the internet, but yeah,
Yes.
go online, just Google what should I put in a personal statement. It really, especially for bachelor's level,
Mm-hmm.
again, we're not expecting some genius already. I found actually my personal statement I wrote to go to university when I was 17. I found it at
Mm-hmm.
home, in my father's house. It was written with by hand and pen, you know. Um,
Wow.
and I read that, and I keep in mind I got into UCL, which is like one of the top unis. Not bragging, guys, but in the UK. And I read that statement, and I thought, my God, like I couldn't believe that I was given a place. It was so basic
Mm. Because
what
it
I'd
was
written. So yeah,
your own vision, not
yes.
someone
Well,
else's. Yeah.
I'm glad somebody thought so. But yes,
Mm.
but yeah, don't be too intimidated by the personal statement. Just show basic things like why do you want to study this subject? What do you hope to do as a career? Why this university? Just sort of basic things that just to show that you've considered why you're applying and it's clear why you want to apply and why you've chosen this option. That's what I would advise.
Mhm.
So yeah, so going back to the just what we offer at LSBU, that's kind of our location in the centre of London there. So like I mentioned, big work focus. So every degree we offer includes either as an option or as part of the degree or as a kind of an extra thing you do in your free time, internships and work placements. So those are just some of the major organizations that our students have done internships and work placements with. On our business course, we have one of the largest student memberships in London of the Institute of Directors. What is that? Well, that is it's a business networking organization. So lots of business leaders, lots of entrepreneurs, lots of just important people in the business world in London attend these networking events. So our students are welcome to go along, speak to business owners. Some of our students, I believe, have even been offered jobs or internships after attending just one session. So it's one thing to study in London. It's one thing to also get out there and use everything London has to offer. Like London is a huge resource. There's so much you can do, so many people in London. You know what I mean? So we really offer students opportunities to get involved if they want to. Another thing you'll hear LSBU talk about a lot is entrepreneurship. What is that? What does it mean? We won this award in 2016, University of the Year for entrepreneurship. And that can mean a lot of things. I think it's one of the really cool special things we offer is this center we have on campus. That building you see there, that's our enterprise center. It's like an
Mhm.
incubator. And
Mhm.
there are 70 startups, around about 70, on campus alone. So they actually use our premises. Many of those are started by our own students. So that's a great resource for students that want to get internships. I know many students, they want to get internships with big corporations, big companies, but actually from personal experience, I think if you work for startups, for small companies, which I did at the beginning of my career, you learn so much. You have to learn how to do everything. Whereas when you work for a big organization, often you'll be given only like a small part of a huge thing. Whereas in turn, enterprises like startups, they really, really need help with everything. So also, even if you're a business student or even otherwise, if you're studying psychology, law, if you're studying filmmaking, you can get involved in our enterprise projects.
How does this usually work? I mean, you come to this center and then you give your startup project to them, and then they will just assess it during some period of time, or
Yeah, it's various things. So first of all, you'll see the first thing there's the sort of the entrepreneurship certificate. So that's available to all students. Every week we have different talks, events, workshops, things, just sort of things you can go along to and attend. If you attend 6 sessions, you have like a card, like a loyalty card that they stamp. If you get
okay.
6 stamps, you get a certificate which is called Introduction to Entrepreneurship, and that's an actual sort of little qualification for you. It actually is like an approved qualification. So once you've done that, if you're interested, you can join some of our other projects. There's a thing we have called Idea Hack. So that's where if you have like a business idea, you can go along and there's like a 2-week, you can apply to be part of it. It's a 2-week residency. So you spend 2 weeks working in teams, working with like sort of entrepreneurs and sort of like, enterprise coaches. And after you develop a business idea and then you pitch it. And if they like your idea, you'll be accepted into Idea Hub, which is where you're given some funding, some premises, some support to start your own business. So there's loads and loads of things you can do. And another thing too as well, just below is internships and consultancy. It's quite a boring sounding name, but actually it's really cool. So internships and consultancy, that's for example, for like say our information technology students, you can sort of start marketing yourself as a freelance IT consultant and sort of getting freelance work even in your second year. So the Enterprise Center helps students do that. So you're getting skills. How can you market those as a freelance worker to local businesses or local entrepreneurs? And I think that's a really cool thing to instill in young people and young graduates, that you don't have to like wait for people to give you a job. You don't have to, like, it's not just applying, sending your CV to big companies. You can market yourself as a freelancer, as an entrepreneur. You can create your own opportunities. And that's what we really try and build into our curriculum and our courses.
But let's say you won this, I mean, Idea Hub stuff, and then you had this great startup project, and then they liked and they gave you some extra funding for that. And during your studies, are you allowed to do this startup project actually as an international student, to do some entrepreneurship stuff?
As an international student, there is a lot of support. I think it's a bigger question we'd have to explore in greater detail later, I think. It just depends on what you want to do, because there will be sort of, as is the case for all things concerning international students, there's different laws around work rights or sort of number of hours that you can work. But I do know that there are some international students that have managed to, I'm not saying it's hundreds and hundreds, it's a small amount, because, to get to the stage where you would graduate and qualify for what we call, like, it's like there's a special visa you can get where they sponsor you to stay in the country and run your own business. To get to that point, you have to be a talented business person to do that. But we do have some international students that have managed to do that. So that's get a business running, and then after graduation, they get sponsorship to stay in the UK and run their own business. But there is support available for that.
Okay.
So yeah, I also want to mention too, just live cases. So that's rather than do like boring old-fashioned exams, which don't relate to the real world at all, we offer a lot of live cases. That's where a real business will, for example, on the business course, a real business will give you a real business case to solve. So you're actually working with a business, they'll give you a real scenario or a real issue which you need to go away and work on and present back to the business. And that means you are sort of dealing with real world examples. And it also means that, it gives you the chance, importantly, to make mistakes, to try things that don't work. That's really important for everybody. That's how we really, really learn. Rather than learning theoretically, you're getting a chance to do things for real. And to give you an example, we work with small companies, but also big companies too. So we have like a fashion business course and a creative advertising course. And our students this year, they got to do a project with H&M. So this was the live project. H&M, big fashion brand, gave them the scenario of like creating an advertising campaign for their kind of environmentally conscious collection, and this is what they came up with. So, even though H&M didn't use this as an advertising campaign, students get to work with this kind of company, pitch ideas to the company, and it's all really fantastic material for your resume, for your CV. When you graduate, you can say to a company, I've worked with H&M on an advertising campaign, instead of I spent 3 years in a lecture theatre with my head in books. You're doing, you'll be doing some of that, but it gives you stuff to talk about in the future with employers. Any other questions right now, Nasiba?
Questions. Actually, I'm receiving lots of questions about the programs that you offer, entry requirements, and the like fees, tuition fees, any scholarships. So I would appreciate if you can talk about
Sure,
these
we'll dive into that. So just to sort of summarize now, this is more quick fire now. In terms of the subjects we teach, like I mentioned, business will probably be the biggest faculty, but we have lots of other subjects too, things like psychology, sports science, bioscience, at bachelor's and master's level. This is a new program we have this year, which is biomedical science, which has different pathways available for students. I'm seeing a growth in popularity with this.
Yeah, I can see here some medical programs as well. The entering criteria for those programs will be different from the others, from the usual?
No, it's the same. So you would need the same requirements you would need for entry onto any bachelor's course. Yeah.
Okay.
Then there's the School of Arts and Creative Industries. That's things like creative advertising and marketing. We have a drama school. We have filmmaking, photography, music and sound design, animation, lots of different creative programs. So I don't think there's massive demand from Uzbekistan for these subjects, but
No, there are some actually students,
it's growing,
but they don't know. Yes, they don't know where they can find these faculties. That's why it's very we better talk about them as well. Yeah.
So we also teach architecture, civil engineering, construction project management, everything to do with built environment. We teach at London South Bank University.
Okay.
And then the School of Business. So we have 4 main business pathways at bachelor's level. So there's business management, accounting and finance, economics and marketing. But you can do this with a minor too. So for example, you can do business management with marketing, or you can do, I don't know, like marketing with advertising and communications. There's lots of different pathways available. They are 3-year courses. A bachelor's in the UK typically is 3 years, but the business programs are offered also with a sandwich year. So you can do like 1 year of study. Sorry, you can do 3 years of study, and then between the second and the third year, you can take 1 year and go and work in industry for a year. So that gives you the chance to get work experience. For masters, we have a huge range of master's programs. This is only a small list. I would advise anybody watching today, go and look at our website afterwards, or contact Nasiba or the guys at Edu-Action. They'll give you some guidance. We have a huge range of courses. Really, you're best to consult the website because it's changing all the time.
And also about the sandwich year, we need to clarify here. Some students, they ask from us if the placement is given from the university or they should find this by themselves. And is it going to be paid? If so, how much the approximate cost?
It's a combination of factors. So students have some responsibility to find their own placement. It's not like you sit and wait and someone gives you a placement. At the same time, we do a lot of work with our students to help prepare them for the placement. So we have an employability team in the business school who help students, who work with students. Of course, we have a long history of working with lots of companies. So we already have like a bank of companies that we've worked with already, that we have contacts with, who know our university, who have a good opinion on us, who like our students. So there is a track record there to draw on. So I imagine most students would be able to find internships if they want them. I should mention that our intention is that students will be paid. Keep in mind, normally you'll be paid around £8, £9, £10 an hour. So it depends on how many hours you work a week. However, there may be cases where students choose to do unpaid placements. That's also a possibility too. Sometimes you have a student that really specifically wants a particular organization, like, I don't know, and the organization can't pay the student. The student might accept that. But what we want, our intention is that students will find paid placements. Yeah.
And what about, let's say, undergraduate student who applied for sandwich year opportunity as well as a visa as well, and he couldn't find a place to work? What will happen with his visa? Will it be cancelled? Will he be required to study the rest of his studies instead of working?
So just to lead on to that, so also just to mention, we have a range of master's programs. We have one master's program, though, that has been popular with Uzbek students this year. It's MSc International Business Management. It's a one-year business master's plus internship. So that's 1 year of study plus 1 year internship work. So our students are given a lot of support to find internships. So the program has actually, this is quite a new program. It started 2 years ago, and it's grown a lot in popularity this year. So every intake we have is more and more students. So from the beginning, students are given a lot of support, lectures, and sort of seminars to attend to help them look for jobs. Students have a certain deadline by which they have to find the internship. And unfortunately, if they don't find an internship, they would have to switch onto the 1 year course. So that means that they still get to complete the masters, but they don't get to stay and do the internship part. This last intake was a little bit, I'm actually really impressed by what students did, because we had, I think, 60 students or 65 students needing internships. And this last few months has been, you can imagine, a very difficult time. We have quarantine in the UK. We have lots of businesses that are closing down because of the situation. So really, it was me, and I was speaking to our internship team. We were really worried. We were thinking, how are we going to find 65 internships for these students? And I'm really amazed to say that 59 of those students found an internship by the deadline. So
Great.
I think that's massive. That's massive. I think massive. What's the word? I'm trying to find massive props, massive thanks, massive respect to our internship team, and also to our students that they managed to do that in these difficult circumstances.
So does this rule apply for undergraduate students as well? Actually, my question was about that one.
Okay.
So if student cannot find this, let's say, job or internship.
With the sandwich year programs with undergraduate students, I'm less aware of that being an issue that they can't find. Sometimes students choose not to do it. Sometimes, they at the beginning, they're like, yeah, great, 4 years of bachelor's, I get 1 year of work. And then they get to the end of their second year and they're kind of like, actually, no, I just want to finish my bachelor's this year. And they choose not to do it. Or sometimes students, instead of doing that sandwich year, they prefer just to do like a 3-month summer placement. So that's also an option too. Yeah, all that would happen was that you would just request that you finish your bachelor's in 3 years, and they can just shorten your visa. So you will lose a bit of time on your visa, but it's possible, yeah. And it's easier to do that than the opposite. So sometimes students will choose the 3-year option, and then they're like, oh, I want to add a sandwich year. That's a bit more complicated. So it's easier to shorten your visa than lengthen it.
Yeah. Okay. And let's talk about the program requirements then.
Yeah, so moving on, we also have engineering courses, computer science, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, and we also teach law, bachelor's and master's, tourism, hospitality, criminology, international relations, lots of different subjects. So, and just to mention too, this is a list of courses that have internships or sandwich years.
So not all the programs have the sandwich year, right?
No. Okay. So all business bachelor's programs plus computer science and information technology. And then for masters, the only one with this internship option is international business management.
And are there going to be any assignments on that internship? I mean, after finishing that internship and upon starting the studies?
So just to point out as well, I think some students, they think it's just like an extra year of work. The internship is part of the master's degree, so that you are assessed on that. So you'll be required to do the 1 year internship, and then you have to produce some kind of reflective piece or some kind of project based on the internship that you've done.
Yeah.
Entry requirements for bachelor's, you would need UK qualifications or in other international qualifications, or 12 years of education. So that can be
college, or
it can be other system, or it can be like, for example, 1 year at university. I get a lot of students from Uzbekistan that they start they start university in Uzbekistan, then they're like, actually, I want to change, I want to do something different. So that's also a possibility.
Let
And
me
then,
also
yeah,
translate this part into Uzbek. Can you go back to the undergraduate? Yeah. Hozir shu joyni o'zbek tiliga tarjima qilib o'tmoqchi edim. Agar oramizda o'sha 3 yil kollej yoki litsey bitirgan talabalar bo'lsa, London South Bank universitetiga 12 yillik образовательный sistema bilan qabul qilinasizlar. Birinchi kursga, ya'ni 3 yillik o'qishni birinchi kursiga qabul qilinasizlar. Lekin aytaylik oramizda 11 yillik bitirgan talabalar bo'lsa, mana hozir o'sha maktablarimiz 11 yil o'tyapti. Bu bola foundation o'qish kerak bo'ladi. 1 yil foundation plus keyin 3 yil London South Bank universitetida davom ettirsa bo'ladi. Bu qanaqa bo'ladi? Misol uchun hozir oramizda Singapurskiyni, Westminster bitirayotgan, foundation bitirayotgan talabalar bor. Mana bu bola o'sha 1 yil o'qigan foundation kursligi bilan LSBU ga direct, ya'ni birinchi kursga topshirsa bo'ladi. Lekin aytaylik siz 11 yillikmi, unda siz 1 yil foundation o'qishingiz kerak bo'ladi. Xohlasangiz O'zbekistonda yoki deb bo'lmasam UK ni o'zida. Bu bo'yicha bizga bog'lansanglar, ya'ni foundation agar 11 yil bitirgan talabalar bo'lsa yoki aytaylik 12 yillik bizga bog'lansanglar, yana sizlarga podrobno bu narsani tushuntirib beramiz. O'sha live webinarimizni oxirida sizga o'sha kontakt detallarimizni ko'rsatamiz va o'sha bo'yicha bizga bog'lansanglar, sizlarga yana qo'shimcha informatsiyani berishga harakat qilamiz. Okay, you can carry on.
I could kind of guess what you were saying there. I kind of could follow it.
Because you
There
do
we go.
understand Uzbek language a bit.
And then master's degree, you would need a UK bachelor's 2-2, and that also goes for, like, I know there's a lot of programs in Uzbekistan, like Westminster, like Sunderland, like there's lots of UK programs taught in Uzbekistan. You'd need a 2-2 minimum, or a non-UK master's of around about 65%. So if you've got an Uzbek bachelor's, we'd be looking at about 65% minimum for entry onto the course.
And the IELTS as well.
IELTS, I'm just going to
6.5.
jump onto that too.
Yeah.
Foundation program too, just to mention, I'm not going to go into massive detail here because we have limited time, but do contact Edu-Action as well for more information on this. This is basically, if you don't have the entry requirements to start a UK bachelor's, you can do an extra year or like a combined international year one, it's called. And that's like a 1-year course. Also, if you have low English, you can join this too. And this prepares you for study in the UK. I don't know, Nasiba, if you want to cover that at all in summary.
Okay, yeah, I want to speak about this one as well in my own language. Hozir aytib o'tganimdek, o'sha talabalarimiz 11 yillik bitirgan talabalar bo'lsa, unda siz 1 yil o'sha foundation o'qishingiz kerak bo'ladi. Hozirgi mana bu on campus LSBU foundation program, bu aynan o'sha LSBU ni o'zida bo'ladigan foundation programmasi hisoblanadi. Bunga ham topshirsanglar bo'ladi, lekin faqatgina o'sha language requirement bo'yicha to'g'ri kelishili kerak, ya'ni ingliz tilida to'g'ri kelishili kerak bo'ladi. Oramizda endi hozir bu bo'yicha ham gapirib o'tamiz. Aynan UK va yoki oddiy IELTS topshirish kerakmi, qaysi birini topshirish kerak. Aynan foundationga kirish uchun sizda minimal o'sha 5,5 naqis bo'lish kerak, UK va IELTS bo'lish kerak. Hozir bu bo'yicha ham Malcolm gapirib o'tadilar. Lekin agar oramizda shu 11 yilni bitirganlar bo'lsa, bizga topshirsanglar, yoki bizga aloqaga chiqsanglar, sizlarga to'liq ma'lumot beramiz bu haqida ham. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And then English is to mention too. So typically for bachelors, you need academic IELTS of 6.0 or 6.5 for masters. And then just to point out one thing, there's so many students that think IELTS is everything. IELTS has this amazing brand presence. It is the most internationally recognized exam, but there are lots of other exams you can do too. So there's TOEFL, CAE, Pearson's. We accept other exams too. And at the moment, I'm also aware that there's lots of worry because I know that because of COVID-19, many IELTS tests have been closed in many countries. So just so you know, there's many other options at the moment too for you. This is actually, in a way, it's never been easier to take an English test for university than it is right now. So these are some other tests we're accepting. There's something called IELTS Indicator, and that's like a version of IELTS you can do online. There's also the TOEFL Home Edition one. You can do that online at home as well. There's another test called Duolingo English test. Now, this is maybe interesting for you as well, because this was mainly a test recognized by American universities, but this year, only during COVID-19, only during this scenario, we are also accepting this test too now. So that's worth looking at. It's really easy to book. It costs only about $50, so it's a lot cheaper than IELTS or TOEFL. So that is an option for many of you at the moment. And then another exam, which is not so well known, but that's language cert, B2 level. We'd also accept that exam too. So all of these tests can be done online from your own home. Do check those out, because I think that's, like I mentioned, it's actually in a way.
One question here.
Yeah, sure.
Let's say the student got one of these, during this COVID, one of these tests online, and then after some period of time, lockdown finishes, and then student will have to apply for for visa and to the university. In this case, UKVI, won't they require us to take let's say on-site test by attending the test? What about this situation?
At the moment, as I believe, as is the case with everything, it's a constantly changing landscape. We don't know what's going to happen, but I believe that the understanding is for this September intake, universities will accept these tests for admissions and for visa purposes. So this, just to mention too, normally when you take an IELTS exam, it's valid for 2 years. The result is valid for 2 years. With IELTS indicator, I would be surprised if that is the case. I think it's valid for this period when IELTS is unable to be taken. But I do think it will be, I think most universities will honor these tests for September entry at the very least, because this is an exceptional circumstance. This is a globally, it's an exceptional circumstance. So we have to be flexible. We have to be human about this too.
And usually our students ask, let's say they studied at international university here in they are in Uzbekistan, and it can be like NJST or Westminster University, or there are some other international universities as well, like 4 years, and they get this international diploma. And most of them, they ask, if I studied or if I have this international diploma, shall I have to take English language test as well? So can you comment on that as well, please?
Yeah, so I'm just one thing to point out too, that it's not a university policy. It's actually written in the UK government tier 4 policy that the UK universities are only, in theory, we're not supposed to accept English taught, even though it's taught in English. It's only supposed to be valid if it's from a country which is a majority English speaking country. So that would be, for example, the USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Even if it's taught in English in Uzbekistan, it doesn't really count as proof of English. If you have done an English taught bachelor's or master's in University of Westminster Tashkent, for example, I recommend do the Duolingo test. Seriously, it costs $50 and it takes 1 hour to do. And I think that's probably a good way just to sort of show that you have the level of English.
So I'll just want to comment this one in Uzbek language. Hozirgi vaqtda hammamiz bilamiz, IELTS imtihonlari O'zbekistonda o'tkazilishi hozircha noma'lum vaqtgacha to'xtatib turilibdi. Shunday holatdan ko'pchilik studentlar bizdan so'rashdi, ya'ni IELTS topshirolmayman, nima qilsam bo'ladi universitetga qabul qilinish uchun? Universitetlar mana shunaqa offerlar berishyapti, ya'ni IELTS Indicator yoki TOEFL IBT yoki Duolingo yoki Language Cert degan testlar bor. Mana shu testlarni onlayn topshirsangiz bo'ladi va shu onlayn rezultatlaringiz bilan universitetga qabul qilinasiz. Bular unaqa qimmat emas. Misol uchun hozir $50 atrofida turadi deb aytilyapti. Unaqa qimmat emas, lekin hozirgi vaziyatimizda, ya'ni borib topshira olmagan hisobiga bu yo'l orqali topshirsangiz bo'ladi universitetlarga. Yana o'zi aslida yana boshqa universitetlar ham bor. Ular aynan o'zini ichki imtihoni bilan oladi, lekin bu universitetda buni imkoni yo'q, afsuski. Sizni keysingizda shu imtihonlardan birini topshirib universitetga qabul qilinish imkoniyatiga ega bo'lasiz. Bu imtihonlarda ham asosan xuddi o'sha IELTS speaking, listening, writing, reading haqida bo'ladi. Qo'shimcha testlar bo'lmaydi. Lekin ozgincha qiyinroq bo'lishi mumkin, так как siz hali onlayn test topshirishga ko'nikmagansiz. Asosan bizda O'zbekistonda paper based bo'ladi, ya'ni qog'ozda topshiramiz. Shuning uchun ham ozgincha qiyinchilik tomoni bo'lishi mumkin. Hozirgi vaqtda asosan shu yo'l bilan biz o'zimizni nima deydi, tushkunlikka tushmasdan vaziyatimizni davom ettirsak bo'ladi. Okay, go ahead. Malcolm?
Yeah, and just one thing to mention too, I think, is just most of these. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, now, yeah. Hello?
Am I back?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello,
Good.
can you
Am I
hear me?
back? Yes, my internet
Yeah,
is
yeah. Okay.
Hello, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All good?
Yeah.
Yeah, just my internet was taking a break there. Just to mention to you, all of these tests cost about $150 to $200, except for the Duolingo test, which is about $50. And lots of students ask as well, the IELTS, the TOEFL, is it the same? As far as I understand, it's almost the same as you would be doing a paper-based test. It's the same preparation you'd need to do for those tests. Duolingo test is a little bit strange. I've actually tried the test myself. It's, for those of you who've done IELTS or TOEFL before, it's quite interesting difference, but it's only 1 hour. It's a much shorter test. I believe the language cert one, that's more of a general English test. It's more similar to Cambridge exams. So if you've prepared for IELTS, it may be a little bit more difficult, but it's more a test of grammar and knowledge of English and use of English and these things too. But hopefully that's good news for students out there. Fees for September 2020. So tuition fees, scholarships is one of the biggest questions I get from Uzbekistan. Just to be aware, I know studying in the UK is a lot of people's dream, and I know it's very expensive for a lot of people. Unfortunately, full scholarships in the UK are very, very, very hard to get. There may be some countries that offer full scholarships. In the UK, it's very, very rare that you would get a full scholarship from a university, especially for bachelor's or master's level. So we offer scholarships of up to £3,000 a year for bachelors and £4,000 a year for masters. Just so you're aware, for a UK university, that is quite a big scholarship. So 50% again is almost never happens either. So just so you're aware of what you can ask for, that would be the maximum probably to expect from a UK university. Our tuition fees, I hope this makes sense here, this table. So the tuition fee per year for all courses is $14,470 per year. All students would get either the international scholarship or the merit scholarship. International scholarship is for students with average grades on entry, and that means you'd get sort of £1,570 per year, which makes the tuition fee $12,900 per year. However, oops. There we go. Sorry about that. For a bachelor's level, you would get £3,000 a year for your bachelor's degree. And then for master's, that's if you've got a GPA of, let's say, 2.1 if you study in the UK system, or if you studied in the Uzbek system, you'd be looking at around about 75% average GPA. You would get £4,000 a year off the price of your master's degree, which would make your master's degree £10,470 a year instead of $14,470. And just to mention, the scholarship is only based on your GPA it's not based on your IELTS score, it's not based on your work experience, it's not based on your sort of subject of your bachelor's degree, it's based only on your GPA. So yeah,
I want to translate this part. Hop, bu bizani aynan shu LSBUda o'qish bo'yicha tuition fee'lar. Hozirgi vaqtda mana 2020-yil sentyabriga tuition fee'ning narxi, ya'ni o'qish puli narxi 14,470 funtga to'g'ri kelyapti. Bu dollarda примерно 17,000 atrofida bo'lishi kerak. Baribir yana bitta o'zinglar hisoblab ko'rasizlar veb-saytlardan. Endi bu universitetda scholarshiplar ham beriladi. 3,000 funtdan 4,000 funtgacha scholarship beriladi. Lekin 3,000 funt bu bakalavr uchun, magistratura uchun maksimum 4,000 funt beriladi. Bizaga ko'pchilik talabalarimiz murojaat qilib kelishadi. IELTS'im 7 yoki 8, menga maksimum scholarship olib bera olasizlarmi deyishadi. Afsuski, aynan bu scholarshipni siz IELTS rezultatlaringizga qarab emas, sizni o'sha kollej, litsey yokida bakalavr baholaringizga qarab beriladigan scholarship hisoblanadi. Agar sizda o'rtacha baholaringiz o'rtacha bo'ladigan bo'lsa, ya'ni gradelaringiz shunda sizga international scholarship beriladi, ya'ni 1570. Lekin aytaylik, sizni baholaringiz 70 dan yuqori bo'ladigan bo'lsa, 70% dan, shunda aynan magistraturada hattoki 4000 funtgacha beriladi. Yana bir
Okay.
marta aytib o'taman, ko'pincha asosan sizni aynan litsey, kollej yoki bakalavrdagi baholaringizga ham qarab beriladi. Lekin agar aytaylik tuition feeni, ya'ni o'qish pulini oldindan 1 yillik pulini siz полностью to'lab qo'ysangiz, unda sizga yana 5% scholarship ham beriladi. Yokida bo'lmasam aynan o'sha deadlinegacha yetib kelib o'tkazib yubormasdan pul to'lanadigan bo'lsa, sizga yana qo'shimcha 500 funtcha atrofida yana scholarship qilib berishligi mumkin. Malcolm, are you going to say about the deposit payments, or do you want me to add this information?
Deposit payments, yeah, just to confirm as well, because there was some discussion this year about changing our deposit payment structure. We're not changing that at all. So it's 3,500 minimum to deposit to secure your place, yeah.
Xo'p, universitetga qabul qilinganingizdan keyin siz o'sha 1 yillik o'qish pulingizdan 3500 funt to'lab qo'yishingiz kerak bo'ladi. Bu o'sha joyingizni secure, ya'ni joyingizni zabt qilishingiz uchun. Va keyin o'qish boshlaganingizdan, ya'ni Angliyaga borib o'qishni boshlab, o'sha 1 hafta ichida siz o'sha 1 yillik o'qish pulingizni 50% ni to'lab qo'ygan bo'lishingiz kerak. 3500 oldindan to'lagan 3500 ham o'sha 50% ni ichida bo'ladi. Ya'ni qo'shimcha yana undan tashqari 3500 dan tashqari 50% emasda, o'sha 1 yillik tuition feesdan 50%. Aytaylik, 1 yillik tuition fees 10 ming yoki 12 ming funtga to'g'ri keldi. Siz uni oldindan 50% ni to'lab qo'yasiz o'qishingiz boshlanganda. Qolgan 50% esa sizni o'sha 1-semestringiz tugab, 2-semestringiz boshlanayotganda to'lanadi. O'qishga pulni siz bank orqali qilsangiz bo'ladi yoki o'sha plastik karta, viza karta bo'ladigan bo'lsa, onlayn amalga oshirsangiz ham bo'ladi. Faqat bank orqali qilmoqchi bo'lsanglar, bizga aytishingiz kerak bo'ladi. Biz universitetdan o'sha invoice olib berishimiz kerak. Har bitta studentga individual beriladi bu invoice. Okay, I'm done here. You can go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, that is pretty much a summary of everything.
Oh, okay.
I think my next slide is here's questions. Any questions at all? I think we've covered most of the main topics today. But do you have any other questions for me about studying
Actually,
at London
yeah,
South Bank University?
we've received some questions from our students, and some of them are in English, some of them are in Uzbek, but I'll try to translate all of them for my language. So the first question, it comes here. What is the entry requirement for IT bachelor's program? So it's a computer science program entry requirement. Are there any extra, let's say, requirements if student doesn't have any IT background?
I think for entry to most bachelor's degree, there's the assumption that, again, we're looking for potential to develop. So you would need to have some kind of like maths or maybe some science background. If it's a fully arts background you have, it may be difficult to get on, but I think there's some flexibility around the subjects that you've studied. So they'd be looking for maths and some sort of science or sort of informatics based subjects in your high school.
Okay. Yeah, I'll translate this one as well. But can you switch off the PPT so that our students can see you like fully?
Sure.
Yeah. Hozirgi talabamizga bergan savollari aynan IT yo'nalishiga o'qishga kirish uchun, ya'ni o'qishga qabul qilinish uchun nima require qilinadi, ya'ni nima talab qilinadi. Bu yerda o'sha boshida aytib o'tganimizdek, siz o'sha minimal IELTS ballingiz 5,5 yoki 6 va siz o'sha kollej yoki litseyda o'qigan baholaringiz ichida asosan matematika, fizika yoki information technology degan fanlar ham bo'ladi, o'shalarga ham qaraladi. Lekin aynan bitta specific, ya'ni qaysidir requirement bu yerga qo'yilmagan, ya'ni siz qayerdadir IT ni o'qigan bo'lishingiz kerak, u narsa shart emas. Xo'p, keyingi savolimizga o'tamiz. Bu savol bizda Abdulloh degan talabamiz bergan ekanlar. Kontraktlar va grantlar haqida aytib o'tsangiz. So we were asked to talk about like tuition fees and grants. So I will repeat it once more that you don't offer any grants. Xo'p, boshqa universitetlarga o'xshab LSBU ham 100% grantlar bermaydi. Ya'ni o'zi Angliyada 100% grantlarni topish juda ham qiyin. Hattoki 50% gacha tuition olib tashlaydigan grantlarni topish juda ham qiyin. Lekin aynan London South Bank universiteti 3000 funtdan 4000 funtgacha sizga scholarship beradi. Ya'ni bu qaysidir ma'noda skidka, ya'ni discount deb atasak ham bo'ladi. Faqat o'sha sizni bakalavr yoki maktab, litseydagi baholaringizga qarab bo'ladi. Endi va bundan tashqari endi bu hozir bizada keyingi etap bo'lyapti prezentatsiyamizni. YouTube kanalimizga kirsanglar, o'sha yerda aynan Angliyada tahsil olish haqida hamma informatsiya berib o'tganman. Shu videoni ko'rsanglar ham bo'ladi. U yerda ham shu Angliyada qanaqa universitetlarga topshirish, nima dokumentlar kerak bo'ladi, viza qanaqa bo'ladi, bular haqida to'liq ma'lumot berib o'tilgan. O'sha videoni ham ko'rsanglar bo'ladi. Chunki hozirgi vebinarimiz asosan London South Bank universiteti haqida bo'ladi. Keyingisi Muhiddin degan talabamiz savol bergan ekanlar, meditsina yo'nalishi bormi? So there is a question asking about medicine. I mean, if there are any medical majors or courses programs offered at London South Bank University.
Yeah, what I would recommend for medicine. So just so you know, getting onto a medicine program in the UK, I'm not saying it's impossible. It's very difficult. It's very difficult, very expensive, very competitive. Even for British students, medicine is always considered like I don't know how things are in Uzbekistan, but it's considered like for the top students. One thing I would recommend for students that want to do medicine, another option could be something like bioscience or biomedical sciences. I do know that in some cases there's no guarantee, but when you complete that kind of bachelor's, you can then progress onto maybe like a graduate medicine program. So that's like where you kind of do advanced entry to medicine later on. And also it keeps your options open if you study, for example, something like biomedical sciences. There's also many other opportunities in the medical healthcare sphere as well, which you can then use that as a stepping stone to do something else. So that's what I would recommend for international students who want to break into medicine in the UK, is to do something like that first.
Xo'p, meditsina yo'nalishi bo'yicha o'zi oldingi prezentatsiyada ham aytib o'tgandim, meditsina yo'nalishini aynan maxsus yo'nalishini topish juda ham qiyin. Bor, asosan ular aynan Angliyani o'zini rezidentlariga offer qilinadi. Lekin xalqaro studentlarga bu juda ham qiyin. Aynan qaysidir misol uchun jarrohlik yo'nalishimi yoki dentistry yo'nalishimi ularga kirish. Lekin siz nima qilishingiz mumkin? Misol uchun London South Bank universitetida ham biomeditsina, shunga o'xshagan yo'nalishlar bor yoki healthcare yo'nalishlari. Bularda o'qib, o'sha yoki 4 yil bakalavrni o'qib, keyin magistraturani maxsus yo'nalishiga qabul qilinsangiz bo'ladi, lekin buni ham ehtimoli juda ham past. Lekin harakat qilib ko'rsangiz bo'ladi. Afsuski Angliyada aynan maxsus yo'nalishda o'qish, meditsina maxsus yo'nalishda o'qish juda ham qiyin. Lekin misol uchun общий healthcare направленияларni bitirgandan keyin bu yerda o'sha ish topsangiz bo'ladi yoki internship qilsangiz bo'ladi. Aynan qaysidir spesifik sohasi bo'lishi shart emas. Bu topshirayotgan joyingizga qarab. Okay, we have next question. Said Nur. He asked this question. Please tell about changes after COVID-19 related to your country, to your university. So you can speak about the country as well.
Well, I think, it's one area where we're all united in the UK and in the whole world, really. I think the issues affecting London South Bank University are the same issues affecting all UK universities at the moment. It's a broad question. I would say, in general, at the moment, most British universities, we are kind of working along government advice, which is just to keep recruiting for September. We're working in the hope and the intention that things will just continue as normal, that the world will be back to normal by September and we're able to run a normal academic year. So hence, at the moment, our fees, our deadlines, our kind of processes are still the same. Nothing has changed. We are expecting, though, that the government will make announcements. They keep saying mid-May, which seems in my head like a long time away, but that's next week. So the government is expected to make announcements soon. You should be aware, too, there's many questions around will classes be online? Will entry be, will, the start date be postponed? We still don't know. So in the background, we, London South Bank, and most of my friends that work for other universities are all doing the same thing, which is in the background, universities are also planning for other scenarios. That could be that teaching is online in autumn term, and then we start physically in London in January, or it could be that certain programs are postponed until January, so nothing starts until January. But at the moment, it's all speculation. We don't know what's going to happen. So we're just doing the best we can at the moment.
Hozirgi vaziyatda, I'll translate it as you
Sure.
understood. Yeah. Hozirgi vaziyatda Angliyadagi ko'p universitetlar onlayn ta'lim tizimiga o'tishgan. Bu endi не только Angliyada, butun dunyoda hozir shu holat. Aynan mayda o'qish boshlanishi kerak bo'lgan holatlarda aynan onlayn boshlashyapti. Studentlar Angliyaga kelishayotgani yo'q, так как viza berish hozircha to'xtatib turilibdi. London South Bank universitetida ham hozir shunday, ya'ni talabalar, shu to'xtatgan talabalar onlayn ta'lim olishyapti. Hali biza webinarimizga aynan shu to'xtatgan talabamizni ham taklif qilganmiz, hali qo'shiladilar. Ular ham aytib o'tadilar shu haqida. Lekin hozircha Angliyadagi o'zgarishlar, ya'ni maylarni boshlarida deb aytilgani, mana hozir уже may, keyingi haftalardan bu yerda ham yengillik bo'lib qolishi mumkin. Ya'ni premyer ministr aynan o'sha lockdown karantinni sal bo'lsa ham yengillashtirish arafasida. Lekin sentyabrdagi o'qishlarimiz onlayn bo'ladimi yoki yo'qmi, bu haqida hali rasmiy bitta ma'lumot yo'q. Hamma universitetlar, ya'ni Angliyadagi barcha universitetlar hozir shu holatga tayyorlanib turishibdi, ya'ni onlayn sistemaga tayyorlanishyapti. Ya'ni agar yana karantin bo'ladigan bo'lsa, sentyabrda boshlangan o'qishlarni to'xtatmasdan yangi qabul qilingan talabalarni onlayn tizimda olib borish uchun. Hozircha hech kim rasmiy ma'lumot bera olmaydi bu haqida. Xo'p, keyingi savolimiz construction management yo'nalishi bo'yicha haqida ham ma'lumot bering. So next question is about construction management direction. Can you please give us some information about that?
So for bachelor's and master's level, we have a large range of subjects in that sphere. So for bachelor's, you're looking at subjects like civil engineering. For bachelor's, it's more things like civil engineering, something called building services engineering, which is more about sort of the management of the internal structures of buildings, like air conditioning, like just sort of all the sort of the internal structures of buildings. And then we have things like real estate management. For masters, we have this program which is MSc construction project management, and that's more construction related, although be aware for that course you're expected to have some post-study work experience. Many students that don't have that kind of experience, they choose to do civil engineering or structural engineering or something like that instead. But yeah, I think that's a question. I think it's a good discussion to be had with you, Nasiba, after the call. I'm sure students can get in touch with you and you can sort of give them more information on these courses. And I'm happy also to if you want to contact me later with questions, I'm happy to do more research for you on those subjects.
Yeah, sure. Depending on the request, we can organize another meetings as well with our students.
Yeah, no problem at all.
And next question would be the question is about scholarship grants.
Okay.
Why it's difficult to get 100% scholarships in the UK. Yani keyingi savolimiz, nima uchun Angliyada 100% scholarship olish juda ham qiyin deb savol berishgan. So let's listen answer from Malcolm about this question.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just every country has its own culture, and in our countries we just don't have a big culture of full scholarships. And it could be because, I don't know, in the USA, for example, in the USA, education has always been something that people pay for. Whereas in the UK, really, it's like in my lifetime, it's changed. So like 30 years ago, education was pretty much free in the UK. Like students didn't pay for university. It's only over the last 30 years that gradually tuition fees have grown and grown and grown. So it could be to do with that. It could be to do with that the fact that that we just don't have a culture of big scholarships in the UK. I'm not sure why it is. We just don't really have that. And again, just to mention too, I think you've asked as well, Nasiba, about loans as well. So sometimes students ask about a loan to cover their studies, and it's one thing as well. So UK students, British students, even though education is expensive also for us too, we have a system where we can get a loan to cover our education. So whereas for international students, unfortunately, there's not a loan that they can take advantage of. So that may be
So
why too.
this loan is given from the university or from kind of a specific bank?
The loan is given from the government. So it's a UK government thing. So if you're a British student, you can apply for this loan to cover your studies. Whereas international students are not able to apply for that.
Okay, I'll translate that. Hop, bu savolimizga, ya'ni nima scholarshiplar nega qiyin Angliyada olish deb bergan savollarga javob aynan o'zi misol uchun hozir Malcolm aytib o'tganlaridek 30 yil oldin o'zi Angliyada обучение bepul bo'lgan. Lekin aynan Angliyada full grant, ya'ni to'liq grant asosida o'qish madaniyati rivojlanmagan bo'lishi mumkin deb aytyaptilar. Lekin aslida haqiqatda, ya'ni UKda bunaqa grantlarni topish juda ham qiyin. Lekin top universitetlar, misol uchun Cambridge, Oxfordga o'xshagan universitetlar aynan juda ham talantli talabalarga scholarship berishadi, ammo uni yutish juda ham qiyin. Juda ham qiyin qaysi ma'noda? Siz agar aynan qaysidir requirementda bo'lish kerak degani emas, siz o'zingizda o'sha talant bo'lsagina yutish ehtimoliga ega bo'lasiz. Lekin misol uchun Angliya emas, Amerikani oladigan bo'lsa, Amerikada juda ham ko'p scholarshiplar offer qilinadi. Ya'ni agar sizda SAT bo'ladigan bo'lsa yoki GMA bo'ladigan bo'lsa, yutsangiz bo'ladi scholarshiplar, lekin Angliyada bu juda ham qiyin masala. Keyin bizda ko'p UK kelmoqchi bo'lgan talabalarimiz veb-saytlarda o'qib savollar so'rashadi. Student loan degan narsa bor ekan, unga qanaqa topshirsa bo'ladi deb aytishadi bizga ko'pincha. Bu asosan student loan, ya'ni British studentlarga beriladi, ya'ni Angliyani o'sha o'zini resident studentlariga beriladigan narsa. Mana hozir Malcolm shu haqida aytib o'tdilar. Asosan buni sizga universitet qoplab bermaydi. Sizga o'sha UK government, ya'ni Angliyani o'sha davlati o'sha qaysidir bank orqali sizga o'sha o'qish pulingizni to'lab beradi. Lekin bu afsuski hozirgi vaqtda xalqaro talabalarga o'zi aslida offer qilinmaydi bu narsa. Va yana bitta narsani so'rashgan ko'p talabalar, u yerda full time degan, part time degan narsa bor ekan deyishadi. Full time'ga bizani xalqaro studentlarimiz faqatgina full time'ga topshirishadi. Part time'ga topshirishga imkoniyati yo'q. Faqatgina o'sha UKning o'zidagi talabalar part time'ga topshirsa bo'ladi. O'zbekistonda topshirgan xalqaro talabalar part time'ga topshira olmaydi, afsuski. Hop, keyingi savolimizga o'tamiz. What about the work permit during the study period? So this is the next question, by the way. But bizda aynan o'qish mobaynida ishlash haqida savol so'rashgan, ya'ni necha soat ishlasa bo'ladi. So you're going to talk about this?
Yeah, sure. So this is a really good point. Working while studying. So as an international student, you have what we call a Tier 4 visa. And that allows you to work 20 hours a week during study time. So during term time, you can work 20 hours a week legally. And then during holiday time, during your during summer holidays or study break over Christmas, New Year, you can work up to 40 hours a week. Of study time. That's also a benefit to, I would say, of studying in London, is there's a lot of work opportunities for students. Yeah.
Okay, great. So here we have lots of other questions, but as we are lack of time, I'll be just moving quickly about them and translating them into Uzbek. Bizda bu yerda juda ko'p savollar so'rashgan, lekin afsuski bizda ozgincha vaqtimiz chegaralangani hisobiga ko'pchiligiga umumiylashtirib javob beraman. Hop, bu yerda bizda aynan o'sha work permit, ya'ni ishlash vaqti haqida so'rashgan. Xalqaro talabalar Angliyada haftasiga 20 soat ofitsial ishlashligi mumkin. 20 soat bu aynan o'qish period mobaynida. Lekin sizda o'sha qishki kanikul yoki yozgi kanikul bo'lgan paytlarda bemalol full time, ya'ni 40 soatgacha ishlasangiz bo'ladi. Keyin yana sentyabr uchun qabul qachongacha deb savol so'rashgan. Sentyabr uchun qabulimiz hali ochiq. Bu faqat bu universitetga emas, boshqa universitetlarga ham sentyabrga hozircha qabul ochiq. Lekin aynan COVID vaziyati hisobiga, ya'ni virus vaziyati hisobiga hozir aynan deadline asli qachongachaligini aytib o'tish juda ham qiyin, takkak agar onlayn bo'ladigan bo'lsa, deadline ozgincha cho'zilishi ham mumkin. Keyin bizda yana savol berganlar. As you know, borders are closed, and if I enter university for fall 2020, I may have some difficulties to fly to UK. If I'm late for the start of the beginning of semester, is it possible to continue my studies where I came? Bu savol aslida aynan so'raganlarni tarjimani qilib beraman. Ya'ni sentyabr 2020ga o'qishga topshirib, lekin aynan hozirgi vaziyatda UKga ucholmasam, ya'ni Angliyaga borolmasam, o'qishimni boshlashga kechga qoladigan bo'lsam, o'zimni davlatimda, ya'ni o'zimni joyimda o'qishimni davom ettirsam bo'ladimi deganlar. Bunga ham javobimizni boya aytib o'tdik. Ya'ni agar bu vaziyat shundayligicha qoladigan bo'lsa, ya'ni Covid vaziyati shundayligicha qolib, hamma o'qishlar onlayn o'tadigan bo'lsa, siz o'sha o'zingiz yurtingizdan, ya'ni endi agar O'zbekistondan hozir bu savolni yozayotgan bo'lsangiz, O'zbekistondan o'qishingizni dальше davom ettirsangiz bo'ladi onlayn tarzda. Please tell me about sandwich here. Sandwich haqida ham aytib o'tdik. Bu videoni biz hali YouTube'ga joylashtiramiz. Ana o'shanda ko'rsangiz bo'ladi sandwich haqida. Aynan o'sha placement option 1 yil ishlaysiz, o'qishingiz mobaynida, ya'ni 2 yil o'qiysiz, 1 yil ish, potom 3-chi kursingizni 4-yil o'tib qo'yasiz. Xo'p, bizda judayam ko'p savollar bo'ldi. Afsuski vaqtimiz chegaralangani uchun hammasiga javob berishga uspech qilmayamiz, lekin ko'pchiligiga javob berganmiz. Aynan video mobaynida yana videomizni, vebinarimizni ko'rib chiqsangiz, o'sha yerda savolingizga javob olasiz. Xo'p, hozir biza efirimizga, vebinarimizga talabamiz, ya'ni Azizbek Bozorov, aynan LSBU universitetida o'qiydigan talabamizni taklif qilamiz va agar savollaringiz bo'lsa, yana yo'llasanglar bo'ladi. Bu talabamiz aynan o'zlarini o'sha UKdagi experiencelari haqida, LSBUga qanaqa kelganlari, qanaqa vaziyat bo'ldi, nimalarda qiyinchiliklar bo'ldi, shular haqida hozir bizga gapirib o'tadilar. Azizbek, shu yerdamisiz? Azizbek. So we are inviting our student now. I think he's having some technical. Yes, he's here. Assalomu alaykum Azizbek, yaxshimisiz?
Avvalambor hammaga assalomu alaykum. Assalomu alaykum.
Assalom. Xush kelibsiz.
Rahmat.
Xo'p, Azizbek, webinarimizdan xabaringiz bo'lgan bo'lsa, shu LSBUda o'qish haqida informatsiya berib o'tdik. Siz ham hozir aynan shu universitetda tahsil olyapsiz. Hozir bizani shu tomosha qilayotganlarimizga bu informatsiya juda ham qiziq bo'ladi. Aynan o'sha yerda o'qiyotgan talabamiz o'zlarini o'sha tajribalaridan kelib chiqib, London South Bank universitetida nima qiyinchiliklar bo'ldi, kelganingizda birinchi nimada qiynaldingiz va nimalar sizga yoqyapti, hozirgi Covid vaziyatida o'qishlaringiz qanaqa bo'ldi, shu informatsiya haqida ozgincha aytib o'tsangiz.
Avvalambor qisqacha qilib o'zim haqimda aytadigan bo'lsam, meni ismim Azizbek Bozorov. Hozirda London South Bank universiteti Business Management fakultetida 1-kurs talabasiman. To'g'risini aytsam, London South Bank kelganimda moslashib ketish biroz qiyinroq bo'ldi. Chunki men bir hafta kechikib keldim. Hammasi ajoyib bo'ldi. O'qish va o'qitish sistemasi juda ham ajoyib. Lekin O'zbekiston sistemasiga qaraganda juda farq qilgani sababli birinchi bo'lib kelganda o'zlashtirib olish va ko'nikib ketish, ya'ni adaptatsiya biroz qiyin bo'lishi mumkin, lekin buni eplab ketish juda ham oson. Ayniqsa London South Bank universitetida kursdoshlarni, ya'ni guruhingizdagi boshqa international studentlarni hisobga oladigan bo'lsak, juda ham ko'p har xil davlatlardan kelgan studentlar bor va bu sizga shunaqangi yangi opit beradi, ya'ni dunyoqarashingiz butunlay o'zgarib ketadi. Chunki har xil informatsiya, har xil odam, har xil dunyoqarash va ular juda ham nima desam bo'ladi, do'stona. Ko'pchilikni qiziqtirishi mumkin culture shock. Culture shock, masalan, aynan London South Bank universitetida men hali culture shockni umuman kuzatganim yo'q, chunki sizni guruhingizdagi boshqa bolalar sizga qo'ldan kelguncha yordam berishadi. Va bu juda ham foydali. Hozirgi vaziyatda o'qish haqida aytilgan bo'lsak, hozir o'zingiz yuqorida ta'kidlab o'tganingizdek, bizda hamma darslar onlayn tarzda bo'lib o'tmoqda. Hamda har kuni sizning student emailingizga o'qituvchilar, kurs direktorlari har kuni yangiliklar haqida sizga xabar berishmoqda. Bunaqa vaziyatda bironta berilgan topshiriqni tushunmay qolish haqida savol bo'lishi mumkin. Bunaqa holatda siz bemalol o'sha kurs direktoringiz fan o'qituvchisiga email yozishingiz mumkin o'zingizning savollaringiz haqida. Email emailingizga 24 soat ichida bemalol javob olasiz va o'sha fan o'qituvchingiz savollarni yig'ib, sizga onlayn miting tarzida hamma savolni tushuntiradi detalni.
Azizbek, hozir talabalarimizga qiziq bo'ladi. Ya'ni aynan siz qaysi yo'nalishda o'qiyapsiz va o'sha o'qishingiz mobaynida haftasiga necha soat dars bo'lyapti, necha marta bo'lyapti darslaringiz, nima qiyinchiliklar bo'lyapti aynan shu yo'nalish tanlashda va nima sizga advantage bo'ldi? Afsuslanmadingizmi bu yo'nalishni boshlaganingizga qiyin bo'lmayaptimi? Shu haqida aytib o'ting.
Judayam qiziq savol. Haftasiga darslar 3 kun bo'lishadi. 3 kun dars va 2-3ta smenadan iborat. Har bir dars 2 soatdan iborat bo'ladi va har bir soatdan keyin sizga 5-10 minut peremena berishadi.
Ya'ni soat 9 dan boshlab darslaringiz nechagacha davom etyapti?
Har xil bo'lishi mumkin. Masalan, 9 dan 11 gacha, 11 dan 1 gacha va ikkinchi va uchinchi oxirgi dars 3 dan 5 gacha bo'lishi mumkin. Oralig'ida yana ya'ni bo'shliq bo'lishi mumkin 1-2 soatga. Bu 2 soatda siz bemalol kursdoshlaringiz bilan kutubxonaga borib kelayotgan darsga tayyorgarlik ko'rishingiz mumkin yoki boshqa mashg'ulotlar bilan shug'ullanishingiz mumkin. Mani yo'nalishimga keladigan bo'lsak, men hozirda business management sohasida o'qimoqdaman. Bu sohani tanlaganimdan umuman afsuslanmayman, chunki bu juda ham qiziq. Chunki bunda nafaqat aynan bitta predmetga urg'u berasiz va sizga shunaqangi ko'p informatsiya beriladiki, har xil yo'nalishlar bo'yicha, masalan, management, marketing va hozirda information management system, ya'ni kompyuter texnologiyalari haqida ham sizga ma'lumot berib o'tiladi. Va bu juda ham qiziq.
Judayam xursandman. Shunaqangi excitement bilan gapiryapsiz. Judayam menga yoqyapti, to'g'risini aytsam. Chunki sizni aynan shu kelganingizda o'qishingiz yoqayotgani, sizga ma'qul bo'lgani bu bizani ya'ni har doim xursand qiladi. Yana bir savol, hozir o'qishingiz mobaynida, endi hozir Coviddan oldingi vaziyatni gaplashamiz, ya'ni virusdan oldingi, lockdown bo'lishidan oldingi vaziyat. O'qib turib nima ish qildingiz, qayerda ishladingiz va agar endi sir bo'lmasa qanchadan qanchagacha bo'lishi mumkin stopsiz, chunki real tajribani talabalar eshitsa, bu ularga juda ham kerakli informatsiya bo'ladi va shunda hisobiga, ya'ni aynan siz bakalavr o'qiyapsiz, haftasiga 3 marta bo'lyapti. Undan tashqari ham o'qishingizni, ishni kombayn qilib ketishga qiynalmadingizmi? Va misol uchun agar lockdown bo'lmaganda nima deb o'ylaysiz? O'zingizni kontraktingizni o'zingizga bemalol qoplay olarmidingiz va qoplasangiz aynan nimani qoplay olardingiz? Shu haqida ham aytib o'tsangiz.
Menimcha bu hammani qiziqtirayotgan savol va eng ko'p so'ralgan savollardan biri bo'lsa kerak. Londonda aksariyat studentlar topishi oson bo'lgan ish bu hospitality, ya'ni kafe, restoran va mehmonxonalarda topiladigan ishlar hisoblanadi. Men ham kelganimda hospitalitydan boshladim, ya'ni restoranda ishlab boshladim. To'g'risini aytsam, Londonda joylashgan hamma mehmonxonalarda ishlab ko'rdim deya olaman.
Mehmonxonada kim bo'lib ishladingiz?
Mehmonxonada ofitsiant bo'lib ishladim. Chunki bu yerda ish topishingiz uchun sizga maxsus agentstvalar juda ko'p bu yerda. Agentstvalar shunaqa sistemaga egaki, siz ular bilan shartnoma tuzasiz va ish chiqqanda sizni ular shunaqa har xil joylarga jo'natishadi. O'rtacha hisobda 9, 10, 11 funtgacha topishingiz mumkin. Bu agentstvalar orqali. Agar o'zingiz постоянно part-time job topmoqchi bo'lsangiz yoki bironta restoranga ishga kirmoqchi bo'lsangiz, buni narxi sal pastroq bo'ladi chem agentstvalarga qaraganda. Ya'ni 8 funtdan boshlanadi, 12-13 funtgacha ham borishi mumkin. Hozirda esa men kompaniyada ishga kirganman, marketing otdelida ishlamoqdaman. Marketing researcher bo'lib, ishim onlayn tarzda bo'lgani uchun hozircha men hech qanaqa pribel, ya'ni foyda topishda hech qanaqa o'zgarish sezmadim. Virus ta'sir qilmadi, Xudoga shukr. Virusga keladigan bo'lsak, to'g'ri, bu ekonomikaga juda ham qattiq ta'sir qildi. Ya'ni ko'p restoran va kafe va mehmonxonalar hozirda ish tarzini to'xtatishdi. Ko'p studentlar aslida dohodini yo'qotishdi. Virusni hisobga olmagan tarzda aytadigan bo'lsak, studentlar o'zini kontraktini to'liq topoladi deb ayta olmayman. No, ma'lum bir qismini bemalol topsa bo'lishadi, chunki o'qish va ishdagi balansni saqlash kerak deb o'ylayman. O'qishni prioritet qilib, ishda part-time job ishlasangiz, bemalol haftasiga 300-500 topsangiz bo'ladi. 500 sezoniga bog'liq. Chunki bu yerda sezoni bor. O'zi sezonda ish ko'p chiqadigan vaqtlari bo'ladi. Bu ya'ni noyabr, dekabr oylari. Вот
Okay.
yanvar, fevral, mart oylariga ish sekin kamayadi. No, men o'zim guvoh bo'ldim. Ba'zi studentlar haftasiga 600, 650, 700 ham topishdi.
Okay. Xo'p, endi keyingi savolim accommodation masalasi bo'yicha. Mana hozir biz vebinarda aytib o'tdik, universitetda o'zini accommodationi bir oyiga 550 funtlarga aylanayotganini. Siz hozir qayerda yashayapsiz va sizda accommodation qanchalarga tushyapti va u universitetga qaraganda выгодный bo'ldimi sizga yo'qmi, shu haqida aytib o'ting.
Turar joy masalasiga aytadigan bo'lsak, men hozir Stratford, ya'ni Londonning east tarafida turibman. Va men yashayotgan xona accommodation haftasiga, endi oylik hisob aytgan bo'lsak, oyiga 600 funt bo'ladi. Bu share qilinganda xonani olishingiz mumkin va o'rtog'ingiz bilan share qilasiz va sizga oyiga 300 dan tushadi. O'sha 600 dan 300 bo'ladi. Bu
Yaxshi.
qaraganda anchagina arzonroq.
Lekin bitta tomoni siz aynan transportga ko'p ketkazishingiz mumkin, to'g'rimi?
Bunaqa deb o'ylamayman. To'g'ri, transport ketishi mumkin, chunki baribir universitet yonida tursangiz ham sizda boshqa ishlaringiz bo'ladi va transport sistemasi shunaqa qo'yilganki, student Oyster card olishingiz mumkin va Oyster cardda siz haftalik birinchi va ikkinchi zonaga oldindan bir haftalik pulni to'lab qo'yasiz va sizga birinchi, ikkinchi zonadagi hamma transport tekin bo'ladi. Shu tufayli universitetdan 1 soat uzoqroq yo'lda yaqin turibsiz, transport bir xil ketadi baribir. Lekin o'zingiz accommodation olib turganingiz sizga ancha ma'qul tushishi mumkin, chunki siz bu yerda ko'proq ozodlik his qilasiz. Открытое пространство deydi-yu. Bemalol bo'lib, bemalol o'rtoqlaringizni chaqirishingiz mumkin. Mani uyimda bog'i bor, bog'ida bemalol o'rtoqlaringizni barbekuga chaqirishingiz mumkin.
Yaxshi, tushunarli. Xo'p, Azizbek, oxirgi savolimiz. Hozir mana endi Xudo xolasa Covid ketsa, o'sha yo'llar ochilsa, Angliyaga talabalarimiz yana topshirish boshlashadi. Shu talabalarimiz mana shu videoni ko'rishayotganda, o'sha sizni tavsiyalaringizni olishadi. Ularga aynan nima degan bo'lardingiz, ya'ni nima tavsiya qilgan bo'lardingiz? Ya'ni o'zingizda oldin mana expectation, reality qanaqa bo'lgan va hozirgi Angliyaga kelmoqchi bo'lgan talabalarga nima degan bo'lardingiz, чтобы ular o'sha qaysidir xatoni qilib qo'yishmasligi uchun?
Bu borada gaplashadigan bo'lsak, men kelishimdan oldin o'zi shunaqa konsepsiya bor. Buyuk Britaniya juda bulutli, juda ko'p ob-havosini ayniqsa nazorat tutmoqdaman. Mrachniroq deb o'ylagandim. Yo'q, unaqa emas. To'g'ri, yomg'ir ko'proq yog'adi, но havosiga gap bo'lishi mumkin emas. Atmosfera, environmentga hisobga olgan bo'lsak, juda ham ajoyib joy va o'qish uchun nima desam ekan, o'qishga eng zo'r joylardan biri deb hisoblayman. O'zingiz bilganingizdek, Buyuk Britaniyadagi o'qish sistemasi dunyo bo'yicha top universitetlar davlatlariga kiradi va bu yerda siz o'qishdan olayotgan bilimingiz va hamda o'qishdan tashqari olayotgan opit, ya'ni experience deydi-yu. Tajriba olayotgan tajribangiz juda ham kuchli bo'ladi. Nima demoqchiman? Londonga kelishni juda ham tavsiya qilaman o'qishni. No, bitta narsaga amin kelish kerak. Bu yerga kelib kontraktini o'zim topaman degan konsepsiya to'g'ri kelmaydi. Chunki men ko'p eshitdim, o'rtoqlarim ham shunaqa deb savol ham berishdi. Borib kontraktini o'zim ishlab topa olamanmi? Buni iloji bor, lekin birinchi yil emas. Chunki
bir vaqt o'tgandan keyin.
Sekin-sekin postepенно siz o'sha vaziyatga o'rganib, tanish-bilish yig'ib, o'sha kerakli joylarni bilib, o'sha oyoqqa turib olishingiz mumkin deb hisoblayman. Chunki birinchi vaqtda kelib birdaniga kontraktini topaman, pulimni unaqa qilaman, unaqa gaplar bo'lmaydi. Chunki siz birinchi kelganingizda siz o'qishga adaptatsiya qilishingiz kerak. O'qishingizni birinchi o'ringa qo'yib, keyin ishga o'tishingiz kerak deb hisoblayman.
Tushunarli. Rahmat kattakon sizga, Azizbek. Bugun shu o'zingizni tajribalaringiz bilan bo'lishishingiz haqida. Hozir bizda juda ham ko'p savollar bo'ldi. Afsuski hammasini ham berishga ulgurmadik. Shuning uchun ham endi boshqa talabalarimizga tavsiya qilardik. Aynan shu videoni boshidan oxirigacha bir marta eshitib ko'rib chiqsanglar, o'tda o'sha siz so'ragan savol balki qaytarilgan bo'lishi mumkin. Azizbek, sizga rahmat kattakon. Malcolm, this was kind of the end of our live video webinar. I hope you're not bored when we were talking in Uzbek language.
Well, I could kind of make out that Aziz is happy.
You do understand.
I could make out that Aziz was happy, so that was that was.
Actually, I was
think,
really happy
yeah.
when I heard when he was speaking, like with this excitement and with all these emotions. This really makes us, agents happy when you hear that your student is really happy about university.
No, it's funny. Well, I hope that's what Aziz was saying, but I had that sense too. I was thinking, I don't understand the vast majority of what he's saying, but it seems happy and excited and
Okay.
sort of, yeah.
Yeah. So what is your wish for our students? So the end of our webinar?
My wish is that all students come to London South Bank University. But I just really, this is what motivates me to do my job. I just wish that all students can achieve their goals in life and do what they want to do within their possibilities. So London is not going to be for everybody. I know that not everybody can afford London, but I just want that I wish that people will go on to have some kind of international experience, to travel, to be able to study abroad, and to achieve their goals and become who they want to be in life. That's what motivates me to do this job, and that's my wish for everybody.
Thank you. Barchaga, ya'ni bizani videomizni ko'rayotgan barcha talabalarimiz, bo'lajak talabalarimizga kattakon minnatdorchiligimizni bildiramiz. Agar savolinglar bo'lsa, ya'ni shu universitetga qanaqa topshirish, shu bakalavr yoki magistraturaga topshirish niyatida bo'lsanglar, iltimos biz bilan bog'laninglar. Shu videomizni tagida qanaqa qilib bog'lanish uchun linklar berib qo'yilgan, ya'ni Facebook, Instagram, veb-sayt, ya'ni Edu-Action veb-saytimiz orqali ham bog'lansanglar bo'ladi va o'sha sizlarga barcha kerakli ma'lumotlarni, barcha kerakli dokumentlarni ro'yxatini sizlarga berib o'tamiz va barchalarga omad tilab qolaman. Hozirgi vaziyatda sabrli bo'lamiz. Xudo xolasa barchasi yaxshi bo'lib o'z iziga tushib ketadi. Sentyabrda ko'rishamiz degan umiddaman. Rahmat kattakon hammaga. Yaxshi qolinglar va boshqa videolarni ham kuzatib borishda davom etinglar, chunki bizning YouTube stranchikamizda ham o'sha davlatlarda o'qish haqida informatsiyalar berib o'tiladi va xudo xolasa keyingi yana Angliyadagi o'qishlarimiz bilan ham sizlarni tanishtirib o'tamiz. Barchalarga e'tiboringiz uchun rahmat kattakon. Ko'rishguncha.